If you are a meme connoisseur, you might have seen a clip of a show called Common Side Effects where two cops are dancing to Jump in the Line while one of them buys a hot dog. It is a good clip and implies that this new Adult Swim show coming out is a comedy about these two cops who are kind of quirky and maybe a little incompetent, who either have a week to week case or some sort of overarching one that they fumble their way through. A lot of people commented that if this show is nothing but this kind of vibe, then, well, I am in. And the first two episodes are actually out, so I gave it a try, and it's not really that vibe the entire time. So if you actually saw the trailer for Common Side Effects, not just that teaser clip, then you witnessed what the real vibe of the show is. And that is drug trip government corruption with the occasional little witty line. The show is about a man who discovers a magic mushroom that can cure practically any wounds. It's so powerful it can even revive dead pigeons and allow someone to survive a deadly plane crash. This man is trying to get the mushrooms available to the people, but the government, insurance companies, and big pharma are trying to stop him and destroy all the mushrooms. They want to keep making money off the sick and dying by pushing out drugs, no matter what the side effects.
Right? Right? Yes.
There's also some side stories, like the old high school friend of the main character being a part of Big Pharma, but her not telling him, and trying to get a hold of the mushrooms in an attempt to bring a new product to save the company. And of course, there are the two cops that are part of the DEA team that was assigned to stop him. Frankly, to me, this show feels like it doesn't really know what it wants to be. It actually feels more like a drama because it has a lot of serious commentary about the state of the American healthcare system. It has violence and corruptions and real big baddies. There is the occasional only okay kind of joke thrown in there kind of awkwardly in the middle, all being told by very monotone voices and wrapped in an odd animation style and character design. Speaking about the animation and characters, the animation feels kind of cheap, which is usually just on par with Adult Swim shows, but what bugs me is the low frame rate throughout. It can make it hard to watch sometimes, and it doesn't really seem to enhance the wackiness or comedy or anything. So it was probably just to keep it cheap and within budget. As for the character design, everyone is very out of shape and odd looking, which in a comedy would be perfectly fine, but with all the drama and healthcare talks, it seems more like it's a commentary on the obesity and health crisis of America. And then they have all these overweight, weird looking characters doing very intense movements, running far distances, keeping up with a plane to jump in, all during serious moments of the show. So it makes you go, well, that's just not possible. Then again, this is about a mushroom that can revive people after having a pipe in the chest. So it's kind of whatever, but when you want to make a show that is seriously grounding and having some commentary about healthcare, maybe don't make them all Olympic gold medalists while looking like Boogie 2988.
Tip off!
Along with the weird character design, as hinted at before, the characters speak a lot in a very hushed, monotone voices. There's no real great ambiance of emotion in any of the voice acting. The only real person that it works with is one of the head CEO of Big Pharma guys, voiced by Mike Judge. But that works because it's Mike Judge. I mean, the dude is a master of that kind of comedy. And the comedy itself is not necessarily up to my taste. I really liked that clip of the cops, that whole vibe. The type of show I thought this was going to be was nowhere near what it is, especially after seeing the trailer in these first two episodes. Cops are barely in it. The one that bought the hot dog, since you didn't really hear them speak, you didn't really know what kind of character she was going to be. Yes, I too was kind of surprised that was a girl, and I guess it's lesbian Dwight from The Office, but with almost no real personality other than being the one that says weird stuff. She's even more monotone than everybody else. And if I was her partner, I would be more like Woody Harrelson from the first season of True Detective and just wanting her to stop saying odd shit. The male detective, I did actually kind of like as one of my favorite characters, along with the guy voiced by Mike Judge. Thought those two seemed perfectly fine. They had a little more oomph to their voice. Their character design wasn't as weird, and sometimes they actually made me smile or chuckle. Smile or chuckle is pretty much the strongest reaction I had to the comedy. It's very mixed in between all the serious moments. Like how in one scene, main character and the old high school friend are at a coffee shop. He is in the middle of telling her this crazy story about finding these mushrooms, being chased out by a helicopter, running through a plane crash and surviving, just to stop when the barista calls out a weird name and him going, "Oh, wow, that's a weird name. I wonder if that was just a mistake. That's such a weird name." And then having this very ugly caricature dude coming up and saying, "Yes, that's me," and him being, "Oh wow, I guess that was a real name. Crazy." And then goes back to the story. It's stuff like that of just cut in there, and he carries around a tortoise. There is a reason why all that stuff makes sense, but and they try to play up him having this tortoise with some comedy, but doesn't really work for me. It's very much just sometimes something odd may happen and then a lot of drug humor. Feels like 80% of the show is just dramatic stuff. Big villains trying to do big things, wanting to catch this guy because big pharma can't have people getting healthy. They need to keep squeezing them for their insurance and giving them meds that make them more sick because of side effects and things like that. It was just non-stop. And to me, even though a lot of it was decent commentary, a lot of stuff I agree with, I was going into this with the show. I wanted to see some wacky cops go through some stuff, even if they're just wacky DEA agents that are constantly dealing with crazy drug people. I think would have been better. This, honestly, there's nothing that's really bad. I mean, the story and the writing is relatively tight and pretty decent. The type of humor they're going for, I think they're executing relatively well. I wouldn't necessarily go with the character designs that they do. The animation style is fine. I just want the frame rates up a little bit. Those are the biggest nitpicks I have of it. If you like the show, fine. I would say at least watch the trailer and not just that clip to kind of give you a hint at what it is before you judge in there. Comedy subjective. You may love it. You may love drug humor. You may love that 2 p.m. Adult Swim, what the fuck is happening kind of stuff with quite a bit of drama mixed in. That sounds right up your alley. Go watch Common Side Effects. But for me, I think it was a bit of a swing and the miss. Nothing against it, but I won't be watching it any more than those first 2 episodes.